those unleashes, like playing them against Master for Battle and with some other minions that might potentially be on the board. It's a lot of value.
Alright, so we're gonna see Patron versus Dragon Warlock. You'd rather be playing Handlock here, Cipher.
Oh yeah, like yeah, Handlock, absolutely. Handlock would be like heavily favored against Patrons, but the Malleus Warlock, I don't think it's that good. I think it's doable.
I think it's actually worse than Handlock and Demon Warlock. I think it's actually overall the worst Warlock to run into Firebat.
Absolutely. Like I've played a bunch of these as the Malleus Warlock. And I haven't been running exactly as that Cipher is running right now, but the thing is that, like the threats that you're playing early on, they are just not threatening enough. They don't deal enough damage to end the game often, like before the Patron combo happens. And the Patron combo, like in the end, it will happen at some point. And when it happens, it's before the Malleus combo. So it's kind of like this weird situation where, as the Malleus Warlock player, you have to end the game before the actual Malleus turn most of the time.
Yeah, like the thing is, they're both racing for a combo, but one of them is much better at doing it, and one of them also deals a lot more damage. Because here's the thing: Warrior can stack armor. Your Warlock never will go above 30. So even if you have the double Soulfire, double Dark Bomb Dream, that might not be enough to even finish off the Warrior. However, the tempo plays that the Malleus Warlock can make sometimes will remind you of the Dragon Priest. You know, sometimes just blow you out of the game.
Yep.
And this is kind of how it feels at times.
This implosion right here is actually quite meaningful. Oh, only 2 imps, because getting the 4 right here, those 4 imps could add up to a lot of damage. Because they might be there for a few turns, but now it's like, just 2. Like, Firebat can just ignore those, really.
Well, I mean, is there an argument for playing Cruel Task just to have it be damaged? And then you use your Death Bite to kill something that has 3 or more attack, and then you Battle Rage for 2 cards?
Yeah, could do it. Usually on turn 4, if you have a Death Bite in your hand, you need a really good reason not to play the Death Bite. But here it's like, if you play it, what do you hit with it? I don't know. Like, he could just like a Cruel Task. I don't think the Cruel Task is that critical to keep for later on.
Yeah, you've got the Execute already, so maybe you need to keep it. It's a lot of things that make the turn. I think you can play in multiple different ways. I like trying to get a damaged 2/2. I don't know.
Yeah, like the main thing here is that like the other options seem to be the Death Spite, and you don't. It's not useful to go face, and it's not useful to hit an imp. So what do you do with it? I like this a lot. Oh, that's a good pickup. He needed a dragon to be able to like potentially play the Twilight Guardian. He could also opt to go for the Implosion on the Cruel Task just because of how bad Implosion is later on in the game. It at some point it just becomes unplayable because of the Patrons.
Yeah. Firebat also with the Twilight Guardian playing that 2/2 here allows him to kill it with the Death Bite. So that's another consideration that makes the play even better than it was initially.
So for Cipher, I think the Implosion would work out better. Even if it rolls 2, it would probably be the strongest play he can make.
He seems to agree, and he's gonna roll the dice. Hope he rolls, something higher than 2, and he gets a 4.
Nice.
Pretty good roll, but Firebat doesn't mind because Firebat needs to be damaged at some point for Battle Rage to cycle.
That's right. And here now, that's enough for the Death Spite to get played. He needs to get the Whirlwind effect going.
Yeah, there's nothing you want to play into this, really, if you think about it.
No.
Although, you might be happy to let him, force him to attack into the dragon. Because as a result of that, he loses the AoE for, a crazy frothing turn.
Right. You could have just played an Azure Drake into it and, just to be mana efficient.
And keep the,
Yeah.
All
and
right.
keep the tone for later on. But this also, if there was no slam in Firebat's hand, this that 3/6, especially having the 6 toughness on it, that would be protected from the Death Spite to kill it alone. So it's kind of like just what do you play around?
Yeah, the thing is, this matchup is not one where you expect the Patrons to stick around. Unless you're getting a crazy OTK, Patrons usually just die to Hellfire or Shadow Flame.
Yeah, that's
true. So frothing is really your ticket to the victory.
Oh, Firebat here decides that the Death Spite is worth more than this. I kind of agree with him. Like, is there really a reason to just hit here? He can afford to take that extra 8.
Yeah, and I mean, if he has to pop the Death Bite, he can always do it with Hearthstone Jones on the board, and then he Battle Rages. That gives him an extra 2 cards.
It is some damage, but this is where the imps really count from Cipher's like a point of view, because they're rolling that high on the second implosion. It helps. Like every little bit counts, because Cipher is the one who has to make things happen fast.
Yeah, Firebat, the moment he picks up, you know, Emperor, Patron, there's a lot of cards that he could find that are gonna help him out. This is not quite it yet, and he can't quite go and kill the Azure Drake if he goes for the Harrison Jones. I think he's just forced in a weird spot.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, do you
Armor Smith frauding? But I mean, you need that frauding to kill him.
No, the frauding. I don't think you can play the frauding here.
Oh, could you do it next turn? Could you do it next turn? You go Warsong, frauding, Inner Rage, Whirlwind, Death's By. Do you win? I haven't even calculated this out. There's not enough range left, right, to do it. He's gonna battle rage. I don't think it's
quite enough. He's gonna go for the frauding here.
Yeah, get that battle rage value.
Yeah, it does give him that extra card from the battle rage, but it's gonna get big game hunted. He knows there's 2 big game hunters, so he is aware that this might happen, but just values that extra card very high.
It actually looks pretty okay for Cipher right now. Like Firebat hasn't been able to put down the kill that he was looking for.
Okay, well, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Patron's up, and there's the Whirlwind's already established, but no Emperor to facilitate the kill.
No. The Thorison is the card that he wants to find right now as fast as possible. That's the key card. If he doesn't find it anytime soon, I don't know. Like he probably can't deal enough. How do you kill your opponent? Like, even at 10 mana, like just the patrons. The Warlock is still at 24.
You would need double Inner Rage, but you've already used 1 up on the Acolyte early to draw.
Right.
So probably not going to happen just off of that. But then again, you can look at his hand. It's definitely winnable. It's going to be taking a little bit more effort than he might like.
Yeah, I want to point it out that Cipher actually with a ton of damage in his hand right now.
Yeah.
He has 2 Dark Bombs. He has the Abusive. Even the Hellfire. He only has 8 mana next on it, so he can't go like double Dark Bomb, Abusive, Hellfire, but still, that's a ton of damage. It just might be enough depending on what Firebat does here.
Alright, so he plays a Ghoul. Do you go double Ghoul? Is that ever worth it? I mean, with a weapon, he could at least delay his death by killing the Zombie Chow, but right now it's not possible.
Mm-hmm.
Ghoul and Whirlwind, but then the Owl would really punish you. Like, an Owl would actually be Cipher's wet dream.
Yeah, if there's just one Ghoul coming down.
Exactly.
Nothing seems perfect for Firebat right now.
Double Ghoul. Wow, there we go.
Is he playing the Patron? Okay, double Ghoul. Alright. I was like, is he going for the Patron maybe behind the taunt? Because then Hellfire would kind of like kill both players' minions, but Shadow Flame, on the other hand, it would only clear up Firebat's side of the board.
I mean, Cipher doesn't even have to use a card here. He can just double trade. So he's gonna Shadow Flame his 2/1 to keep. Well, no, he's gonna lose the Drake in the 4/2 anyway. Just trade them away.
Yeah, I think you just trade the 4/2s.
I mean, they're gonna die to the double hit. Unless you have the Owl, of course, right? Like, the Owl is the defining card.
I really like just trading the 4/2s for the Ghouls here. Like, everything else is like, it's kind of a waste, because they're like dying anyway. No, wait, what? Like, why would you do anything else?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, unless you had the Owl, you probably then would maybe consider doing something else.
Yeah.
In this case, I don't think it does much.
No, he's going for it.
Play a Drake. That's actually pretty sweet for him because he still keeps a board, and if there's no weapon to contest this, he might still stay ahead. 22 health, critical.
But one frothing is already gone, and no Emperor has been played, so it's a bit limited on what the Firebat can exactly make happen.
I don't know, man. The Warsong, Patron, Inner Rage, Whirlwind, that's a lot of things, but...
Oh, it's certainly not bad.
That's 16, no, that's 14 damage right there, but I don't know if it's enough just yet. He might just Whirlwind once for safety.
Yeah, probably will.
I like that. Slam, Whirlwind, execute the Drake.
Oh, that's pretty smooth. I like it.
Makes you really safe. I mean, you get the health back.
Good. I don't think you need to save the execute. I mean, yeah, there could be like a naked Demaligus next turn, but then you don't have the execute anymore. But it's not too bad. Oh, he's slamming that one. That means he's keeping the whirlwind. Because if he was whirlwinding here, he obviously would have slammed the other one.
Maybe it just means he's not executing. Or he's just executing. Oh yeah. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, what it does, it I guess allows him to get a Frothing number 2 as a possible out, and either way, those little 2/1s will die. So I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Like keeping both the whirlwinds. That's for next then. And how much does he has 9 damage in his hand right now, and he has 7 on the board, so not quite there yet. 3 damage off from lethal. Cipher kind of, is it like a Twilight Guardian? Is it a heal bot then? Do you feel like you're...
I feel like you kind of want to, just because you might die. I would even trade those 2 little guys away, I don't know. Because if there's another Frothing, and you get run over, I think keeping extra minions would just be a drawback.
Yeah. Like the only thing about it is that then he misses like a little bit of face damage if he goes for the trades.
A lot of face, yeah.
But those are he knows that no whirlwinds have been casted yet. So those 2/1s are unlikely to get much value. Like they are going to die, yeah. So yeah. But Cipher's still not setting up lethal, so even if Firebat doesn't go off here, which I guess he won't. It's just
you wouldn't hear with like with the Acolyte. I mean, with the Warsong Patron with double Whirlwind in a rage. Do you really need that Frothing to win the game? I'm guessing that's what he's digging for.
Yeah, or like an Emperor if yeah.
So 1 Patron, 1 Whirlwind.
Guess so.
Oh man.
Don't think it's gonna work out at all though.
Alright, so he's doing the first wave of the combo without relying on the Patron, on the Frothing, but here's the problem. He knows Shadow Flame and Hellfire are both in the range of his opponent. Ah, there we go. He did pick up the Frothing.
Yeah, but the Shadow Flame, man, that's so good here.
Yeah, the 3/2 has no more purpose anyway.
Nope.
Might as well get rid of it and heal up.
This is gonna be tricky for Firebat because he played both of his ghouls already. He doesn't have a Death Spite setup. So he only has the 1 Worlding effect remaining.
Yeah, my assumption is that he's probably dead on the following turn, but we'll have to see what Firebat can put together.
And there's the Shadow Flame. Let's see what Firebat picks up. But even if he gets like the best possible card, is it gonna be good enough? It's kind of a good card, but
yeah, it's kind of good, but you're dead. I mean, Shield Block would probably.
Oh! Is that the card that's gonna buy him an extra turn?
I think it is. He needs like. Oh my god, Firebat!
That's insane.
Is he still dead? He's got 16 health. He's got 18 health. There's 7 on board plus 9. He's actually still alive. That Shield Block can execute, man.
Wow.
What a card.
If you didn't pick up those exact cards, this game would be just over.
I think that's the case, yeah. Oh, that's still over. It's still over. Cipher spots it right away. He's like, yeah, get wrecked, Patron. Yeah, it brings joy to his heart, just like it does to all of our hearts. Thing is, I remember Strife Crow, we were talking about this. He was like, you know, there's only one deck that I really get emotional about, and it's Patron. Because I love Hearthstone when I can play cards. And he was like, I can't play cards against Patron. And they're just playing around with their cards, and I can't even interact with them. So Cipher takes
the same way. But Patron's getting wrecked there, never drawing that Emperor, and kind of forced on the defense a little bit earlier than he would have been comfortable with.
Yeah, we'll see if Firebat can get the win against one of those 2 decks. Those 2 decks he's facing off against aren't exactly the worst. Especially the Hunter, he can probably nail that one. The Mage, however, could be a bit trickier.
Not too bad. I mean, he should be able to squeeze the win with his warrior later on, so that's not a problem. But that Malgus Warlock from Cipher, and so Firebat might have had some some other good matchups, like some ways to kind of punish the Malgus with his other decks potentially. But yeah, as it is, Cipher up 1-0, and now we go to Patrons against Hunter, an old school matchup. Haven't seen this one in a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but I think High mains are still really important the same way they used to be. The thing is now they can also fuel the patron in some cases if it's too late.
Yeah.
And Firebat's got a War Axe, right? So yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good draw from Firebat. It's looking so smooth.
Pretty preemptively setting up the ghoul. He's like, if you play Mad Scientist, I kill it. If you play Juggler, well, you won't.
Yep.
And he's
like
maybe
it.
happy to trigger the freezing trap as soon as possible.
Is that the dream when you're playing Patrons against Hunter? Like, can you get a better draw than this?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. If it's not the perfect draw, it's at least close. And Cipher, on the other hand, drawing things like, well, he does have an animal companion for 3, Shredder for 4.
Yeah, you mean
Unleash.
he's gonna die. The Huffer's dead.
Rip Huffer.
Oh my god, poor Huffer.
Yeah. Cipher is scoping out decently, so this game is not over just yet, even though Firebat does have that amazing draw.
It never is quite over.
Yeah, that's Shredder into low tech. That's as strong as it gets for those turns 4 and 5. At least close.
Yeah, we'll see if he opts to go for. I mean, not playing the Shredder it feels like a mistake, but you see the Acolyte at 3 attack, you gotta feel a little bad about that.
Right.
Yeah, so it makes you reconsider whether or not you really want to curve out. You're like, do I really want to curve here, or wish I had a
You
bow?
might have to, like, just freezing trap or something. The Shredder feels so poor and he's low on minions, but it's hard to pass up on it anyway. Like turn 4. If he gets lucky, he might get something really amazing from that. Like a Mana Storm or Totem Golem.
Yeah, I mean, would they? In this case, they almost don't matter much.
Yeah, kind of, I guess, because even if he got one of those, there would have been a slam in Firebat's hand.
Yeah. All right. Well, good luck, Cipher, playing. You're Is this where things start looking a bit better for Cipher? The bow gives him a little bit of trading value.
That's a good card, but he's pretty far behind right now. Firebat's still at 25, and Firebat has everything. He has just death spites, and even the Emperor already there. No Warzone Commander, but I'm sure he will pick it up soon. There's the Death Spite, the first one. Like that's a card that obviously you like. You don't even. It's so good you don't even mind picking up 2 of them. Quite often when you draw weapons, you're kind of like, well, 1 is the right amount. I want 1, but.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get stuck with like 2 War Axes and 2 Death Spies, but then you're like, I'm just not gonna play the War Axes and I'm just gonna win anyway, so you just play Death Spies instead. Some people actually argue that Death Spite is probably like the best card in the game, contextually, because for the deck that it belongs to, it's doing more work than any other card. I mean, Mysterious Challenger is kind of like that, right? Or it just like defines the deck super heavily.
I kind of agree with that statement. I think it's truly amazing card. And what I was going at my last comment was that it's rather to have 2 Death Spites in my hand than have 0. It's such a powerful thing, even though you can play 1 at a time.
There's a lot of phase damage in Cypher's hand. I mean, if Firebat goes for Emperor, so 3, 9... Yeah, he's looking at like 11 damage right here.
Oh.
Could there be a lethal pickup?
No,
I can't imagine. It would have to be like... No, not even Arcane Golem would do it.
Even Arcane Column would be 2 damage.
Yeah.
And now, even though you see Firebat really low, it's down to 15 now, with those double shield blocks. So,
yeah, he's actually on 25, basically.
Yeah. It's pretty insane with those shield blocks.
Yeah, if Firebat doesn't go for shield blocks, he might just die, and I think he spots it. After this happens, he's just like, okay, this is really sketchy.
That quick shots right there gives it away that better shield block fast.
Yeah, and why not get more Emperor triggers? You know, if I can, I'll take them.
Pretty good.
Yeah, Cypher seeing that shield block is like, oh god, what have I done?
Yeah, that quick shots not working out so well, but he had 2 of those in his hand, and he knows that he's not gonna win the game by quick shotting minions, so might as well throw 1 right now.
Alright, min-max the armor gain, and get as many Emperor triggers as you can. Seems to be the rule when you play this type of deck.
Yeah, even 1 Emperor effect is so powerful, but getting 2, that's like... that's so insane for a combo deck.
I mean, can you really justify not pushing? I mean, if you have to play it slowly here in your Cipher, you would have at least had to draw a high main to justify it, I feel.
Yeah, even to high man, it's like at this point, I think you just gonna have to go all in, just like play your entire hand. Maybe not the quick shot, everything except the quick shot.
Right,
Just
just
hope for
cycle
the
it.
best.
Cycle it next turn.
Just hope for the best. I mean, it's unlikely that he could ever come back from this, but just going desperately for face and like praying that Firebat's hand is somehow very clunky.
You could
guess
kill the
it's-
Emperor here if you want. I don't know if that's worth it.
Oh,
You can wipe the board and have minions left over or something.
alright. It's interesting. Hey, so, because the freezing trap, he wanted to clear this mode.
Yeah,
Just-
but there's a lot of armor right now in Firebat's hand with that Whirlwind, the Death Bite, the Patron, the Shield Block, yeah.
This is like game over right here.
And here we go. Patron doing patron things. Oh man.
Everyone, you know what to do.
You don't have to get in here, just like sit there and take the armor. Don't fight, no fights.
Even the battle rate, like this is pretty. This is so cruel. If you Cipher watching this right now, it's like you start thinking about the next match already.
Yeah, somebody actually proposed a change to Patron that I found amusing. I think it would just kill the deck completely. And I really hate the idea, but it was whenever this minion fights and survives damage.
Interesting.
So whenever it fights with a minion instead of, you know, getting whirlwinded to death, then that would be kind of two different types of damage.
I think it's an interesting solution to it, but I highly doubt that Blizzard would choose a path like that in case they decide to nerf it.
Yeah, I think it kills the card completely for the most
Yeah.
part, so it would be a little sad if they did. Alright, so Firebat does nail down the win with the Patron, leaves him with 2 decks, and they're both equal in score at the moment.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the Patron win, and it looks pretty easy for him. But also, like, that draw from Firebat is way above average. It was almost a dream. I mean, if the starting hand we were talking about it doesn't get much better than that. And after that, he just kept drawing even more fitting cards like the Emperors and like the Death Spites. That was just everything.
Yeah, so Firebat's got a secret Paladin, we know that. He might decide to queue it up, unless he feels the Mage is a bit better. Overall, he still has to win with everything, so pick your deck and just go all in. He's got the Pally against the mid-range Hunter, and Cipher's got a pretty okay hand, to say the least.
Yeah, this is an interesting matchup to me. Actually, I know this sounds weird because both of players are playing like aggro decks and there's a lot of going for face, but there's a lot of these small decisions where you go for trades instead, and I think it's not as easy always to spot the situation where you have to go trades than some people might think.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cipher has a crazy hand, but Firebat with the Argent Squire in his mulligan, it really helps him stay on the board, especially since Cipher doesn't even have a 2-2 or a 3-2 to play on this turn.
Yeah. Firebat would love to pick up something for turn 2 and 3. If he manages to find like a shielded mini-bot or Master for Battle, he should be in great shape. But right now, it's like a tiny bit clunky. Yeah, he has a lot of good cards, but again, like no play for turn 2, and looks like no play for turn 3.
Alright, Lepronome Coin Snake Trap. Let's do this. Get all the 1/1s.
I would imagine that he's gonna keep the coin for the high main, but it could happen. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised, but almost certainly he will keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got no curve otherwise ever. Oh!
Oh,
the
look at
muster for Firebat. And there is no Unleash for Cipher to stop this.
Nope.
Oh man.
It's a good card to draw, to say the least.
Alright, here we are. I mean, whatever Cipher plays gets countered by the True Silver. He has to be playing defensively here.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if he finds the Unleash. Oh, what did you pick up? Nope.
Yeah, and you're definitely not freezing trapping this, so good luck to you, Cipher. This is not a position I'd like to be in. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see Firebat just not care it and just...
Wow.
I mean, you could just smork it, like let Cipher pick up his crazy Juggler Unleash if he has it, but...
Firebat knows that there's no Unleash after that Lepronome tree. Like, if there was an Unleash, it would have happened. Like, I don't think Firebat even needs to draw anything more. I think he has everything he needs for the remaining of the game.
I mean, I could see an argument to play around the juggler coin unleash, and that would be just trading away some damage away. But because you're not losing the board, it's still fine.
Seems like it's so.
Yeah, if you were putting yourself behind, I think you could maybe justify not doing it. But since you're still ahead, it's maybe better to play safely. I can understand that.
Yeah, I kind of like this because he also knows that he's playing against the mid range. Oh, look at that top deck card.
Yeah, and here we go. He can
Wow.
still clear up the board, right? Unleash, abusive. Whatever's in that shredder, though, will stay on the board.
That's true. He would need one more mana to be able to also play the owl. The owl not that efficient here. He might even be like tempted to kind of keep the unleash at this point. I would be too surprised. I don't know. Like other options seem so bad. Maybe it just has to go for it.
What if you no? I was gonna say, what if you just owl? But there's like 10,000 things to owl in this deck that.
Yeah,
better
like
than
the
a shred.
buffs. Yeah, like the buffs for mainly. Like Blessing of Kings and maybe sometimes even like Avenges and yeah.
Lightwell, come on, give him a Lightwell. I want to see a Lightwell. I demand a Lightwell.
Hello. Hello.
That's a pretty okay card.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
bad at all.
So do you play the True Server just before your turn 6? I guess you have to, because you'll never
Yeah.
get an opportunity to.
Yeah. Like this, the way that this hand is set up, like he has a turn 6, 7, and 8. There won't be any time to play the True Silver on the following 3 turns at least. So it makes a lot of sense to just get it out right now.
So Cipher, I heard you wanted to hit me in the face or kill my Annoyatron. Well, I raise the Mysterious Challenger. Good luck with this.
The Repentance pretty poor draw here. I think it's likely that Firebat only plays one, so that might have even been the worst.
Actually,
card
it
draw.
probably is the best one because you don't want it to come out necessarily on this turn. I don't know.
Oh, in that sense.
Maybe it's nice to play it after you've seen some of the weaker stuff. I don't know. That's a really
Yeah.
good point that you bring up. That it's like a bad card.
It's interesting way to look at it, because that's also true. Like now he can kind of try to play it on a turn where it matters. But on the other hand, like that's like same as not drawing a card at all. In a weird way, because he could have
Had it on the board right away.
yeah, like he could have drawn any other card, and then it's like, yeah, because now he could have gotten it for free. Because the normal thing to do is that people usually run 2 of each secret except for the Repentance.
Yeah, it's a single.
So he
single
like
copy
choose
of-
the only one that he potentially only runs 1 copy of.
Yeah, I mean sometimes I don't mind getting stuck, quote unquote, with Noble Sacrifice. I mean it gives you a lot of leeway in many turns where you're like juggler, Noble Sac, and then you're forcing them in a really awkward spot.
Ugh, Cipher not happy about the Avenge. He was hoping for it to land on the Annoyatron instead, because he will have to silence it, so that would have worked out way better for him.
Yeah, it's a little clunky actually. So if you push face, you're letting the Paladin
Yep.
like playing defensively, and I think maybe Firebat won't be too happy about doing that.
It's
But he
pretty
gets
scary.
to trade. He gets to trade
Yeah.
easily, and even Consec the Hyena is out. So
How much damage is that though? I think he actually. I think
with
he has lethal.
Consec, yeah, with
That's lethal.
Consec he has. Yeah, he's got it with Consecration, exactly
Yeah.
lethal actually.
Exactly lethal with Consecration. Wow.
What a beautiful kill, Firebat. That's a beautiful kill.
Could say that.
Nicely done.
Yes.
Alright, so Firebat's taking the lead 2-1 over Cipher. So Cipher is still struggling with the Hunter. He's got a free, like a Tempo Mage deck to face off against. I can't imagine it's that amazing to face off against necessarily, because they play Tempo the same way that you do.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. It's gonna be an interesting match to watch.
Yeah, Rowan's a bit of a dead draw though.
Yeah. Wow, that was like the Paladin secret deck, like the mid-range version at its best, really. I think that another really good draw from Fire, but the early game not like the best ever with the turn 2 hero power, but aside from that, just like curving out so nice. When I play Secret Paladin, I don't draw like that.
Yeah, neither do I. Firebat's
think
actually got, it's gonna be Mech Mage versus Tempo Mage. So turns out Firebat's playing a more, classic version without, the heavy mech emphasis. And Cypher's got the Mech Warper shenanigans early.
Well, Firebat has the better hand right now, if you
I
ask me.
think so, yeah.
No Gogmaster from Cipher and that Mech Warp. Oh, there it is, but it's tiny bit late.
So does Firebat go Sorcerer Apprentice coin portal?
I don't think you have to necessarily coin here.
Yeah, that was the question, because your next turn you could always just
Yeah.
hold on for better value.
I mean, he could go for it for tempo, because if he gets a minion that's 3 mana or less, he can already get it on the board, and he knows that the matchup is so like heavily reliant on tempo. So I can understand going for it here. But anything with like 4 or more mana, it kind of would have worked out better to just save it for the next turn.
Yeah.
To save the time.
I mean, it's not that like the owl's not bad, but in this matchup, it's like you're having to deal with the full size minion more so than the ability of the minion. So you're more worried about something like a blast mage being like enabled than you are about whatever the ability of the minion is.
Right. Yeah, not too exciting to get the owl here. I mean, it's not bad. You can't say that the owl is an awful card to get. There's way worse things that could happen from the portal, but not what he was looking for.
So do you go for the arcane missiles potential, frostbolt potential? That's 4 outs in your deck.
Flame cannon, frost.
Yeah, there's a lot of outs I think in Firebat's deck that would make this a little better than it is.
It's hard to pass up the scientist though, because it's really good tempo. But he's playing the effigy and counter spell,
right?
So he won't get the mirror entity. It's like a weird situation, because if he was playing the mirror entities right now, I would really love to see the scientist, because in case that there's something like a blast mage or so, the blast mage would actually get copied if the battle cry kills the scientist.
Yeah, even Tinkertown, right? Like there's a lot of cards that you expect from the Mech Mage that you might want to deny. So turns out Firebat is going to play for full tempo. He's going to get a free kill maybe on the 3-2 if he wants to silence it off. He gets to make a trade and let Cipher play the blast mage to full potential.
We didn't see all of the cards in all of the secrets in Firebat's decks, I believe, but we didn't. So there might be a mirror entity.
Yeah, we haven't seen that much from it.
Okay.
All right, that's all right. It's not perfect, but it's definitely okay.
Yeah. The disaster would have been the double hit on the scientist and the mirror entity, because the remaining minions on the board would not even like contest it. So now that's like a pretty good tempo gain for Cipher in the end.
Yeah, and Firebat's follow-up turn looks really blank, and you have Cipher sitting there with Lotheb, which probably helps him seal the board against this deck.
Oh yeah, Firebat does have the Azure Drake, so it's not like he will have an empty turn after that, but still like...
Yeah, but his turn 4...
Really,
his turn 4 is pretty much empty, I mean...
Also, by the way, I want to like point out the silence on the Gogmaster. He valued getting that 2 power away from Cipher more than the spare part, because there could have been arguments made in favor of also silencing the Clockwork Gnome because of the mentioned counter spell in Firebat's deck, because not silencing the Clockwork Gnome will give Cipher an easy way to get rid of the counter spell when it does pop out.
Yeah. Yeah, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like playing Counterspell, or playing spare, like Mechanical Yeti in their Mech Mage when they play Counterspell, because you're giving your opponent that spare part, and you can't afford doing so. Well, we'll see whether or not that's it. It's Effigy with the Drake. That's okay.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Definitely the better one to get here, obviously. Like, if that was the Counterspell, it would have been such an awful situation. Cipher here, he's making like the same guess as we have, that there's probably no mirror entity and just plays the low tap. If there was a mirror entity, there would have definitely been like better plays for him available than just that.
Yeah, so Firebat going for the coin on Stable Portal did not get rewarded. If it had, however, been something like a 3-drop, it would have probably been better than what he got. And I think that might have been enough to equalize the tempo in the game.
I think
because
so,
it was like that really early turn where things kind of turned around. And right now, unless... I mean, Cipher could almost just ignore this board and just punch face. And even taunt up the Shredder, because why not?
Yeah, those things really matter. If Firebat got that turn 2, like the coin non-stable portal, if that was like a 2-3 or 3-2, the board could have potentially like snowballed completely differently, and the game would just look completely different than what it is right now.
Yeah, I don't think there's a Blizzard either in Firebat's deck. So, do you go for the Hail Mary, please win?
Yes, he has to go for it. And we can Arcane intellect first and like...
Yeah, see what you pick up.
Yeah, like maybe there is something, but I don't think there's anything he can even like draw, even if he got the best things possible.
He spoke too soon. What could he get at 4 mana though? I don't even know. Yeah. That's
That's
it.
nothing. That's just nothing.
Firebat's gonna be down to his, last deck, and Cipher's gonna have to be going for his last deck as well. So
Yeah.
Hunter is gonna be back on the drawing board for Cipher.
Yeah. The Hunter not being very good for Cipher so far. Both of his losses are with that Hunter, but this might be the matchup that he can take down. It's gonna be a close one. The early turns, like turns 1 through 4, like, those are so key. Like whoever gets the early advantage should be heavily favored.
Yeah, I think both decks are playing for tempo, especially the mid-range
Yeah.
version of Hunter. The Arcane Missiles with the Flame Waker, however, pretty much the nuts for Firebat, giving it on the coin as well. I want to emphasize that.
Yeah.
There is, I think the coin may actually be more important to tempo Mage than it is to Rogues.
Well, that's a big statement. Because the coin is so important to Rogue, but yeah, it might be like the second deck kind of to say that you rather have the coin than
Not.
go
Yeah.
first. So almost everything else, like it's pretty straightforward. Like in my mind, at least, that you want to go first. It's better to go first. But in this situation, that coin might be really good in the end. We'll see how much he can leverage it.
Alright, he's not going to leverage it too much. For now, he's just like, oh, just Arcane Missiles. You got a 2-drop. I'll play the Mad Scientist. So he's going to stay on curve and keep his coin for an inevitable, like, turn 4 Flame Waker into coin unstable.
Yeah, something like that.
Pretty okay for him here.
Yeah. If he gets the effigy from the Scientist, it might be fine to just like play the Flame Waker naked, even without doing like any spells with it on the same turn, because it's kind of like, it's quite a bit of tempo. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, going for full tempo, gets a 2-3, gets the Mad Scientist. That lets him really take the advantage of the board, which Cipher is going to have to slow down if he wants to negate.
Yeah, it is a tempo matchup, so that's kind of like, I can understand this. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
But he no longer has the coin for the Flame Waker, so there won't be those, so to say, like free missiles coming in.
Well, that's a kind of, I mean, I guess it's an okay outcome, but Quick Shot would have done the same thing, but you're curving out more nicely with the Animal Companion.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're guaranteed the effigy if you ever lose the Mad Scientist here, right?
Yeah. But he cannot, unfortunately, like, Sudoku it off right now, so...
I think he's okay with that, because, I mean, what you have to deny is the Houndmaster play, of course. So attacking here makes a lot of sense.
Cipher with the full clear here with the quick shot. Oh no, or abusive sergeant from the top, so that's even... No, wait, it's no longer a full clear then.
It would have been a full clear, I think, if you didn't owl
Yeah.
the Scientist. That was the one difference there.
Right. I
Firebat?
was thinking quick shot and owl, and just raid the 1/1 in, but it does make kind of sense because now he gets another 2/1 in the board, so the board state is kind of the same after the trade.
Alright, so, I mean, I'll take a 3-mana light spawn. I think it might actually see play at 3 mana. Funny
Yeah.
enough.
Not too bad. I don't think it's a bad card. It's a bit weak to silence, but the owl just got played.
Yeah, everything's weak to silence anyway.
Fair enough.
Alright, you could play for the tempo with this. You could also go counterspell, ping, and, there's a lot of ways you can approach this turn. There's high main, so Fireball being used here would really feel horrible. I think keeping your 3-3 and a 3-2 challenges the Shredder well enough, and if your board stays like this and his doesn't improve, you stand to just take this, I think.
Yeah. Cipher with a really nice quick shot here. Able to take that out and draw a card. What is it?
Animal Companion, so you
Yeah,
can't
draws
quite
tougher.
play it, but yeah, 4 more damage to face, you're good to go.
Nice.
Yeah, a little shy of getting his Flame Strike value. So he's gonna test for freezing. He doesn't want to trigger Snake accidentally if it is.
Yeah, no way.
So
Oh, he knows it's snakes. He's seen it many times.
yeah, this kind of spell is gonna be good for Cipher.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, good for Firebat.
For Firebat, yeah. Does find its value. Breaks even with the 3-mana Animal Companion.
Unleash is the worst top deck, I think. Oh god.
Oh yeah, knowing the secrets in Firebat's deck, it's an easy high man. No need to worry about mirror entry.
Do you just buy yourself? I mean, that's good, right? That's gotta be okay-ish.
Do you YOLO with the Dr. Boom? He does have the counter spell up.
Right, you can't get kill commanded. I would actually like Dr. Boom after that counterspell play, right?
Yeah.
Because you know it's guaranteed not to be freezing trap. So you know it's Snake, and if you ever have to trigger it, you got Flame Strike on the back end.
Oh yeah. I think Boom is the play. It's the play to win. I mean,
You're
yeah.
dead to bow, but I guess you were dead to bow. Like, you're gonna die to it anyway.
Yeah. Like, you can survive a bow for one turn, but it's not gonna win you the game to, like, do anything else but the Boom here. This is absolutely best play to... Like, it's not... It's like Frostbolting the... Is that it?
No, not quite, but he could just, like, eat up...
1 in 3.
Yeah, he could eat up the Dr. Boom, like with the Hunter's Mark with the counterspell, and then he gets the Huffer and he wins right away. I mean...
Oh no!
Whoa! Cipher with a punish.
Or did he... Maybe he did that intentionally, actually. So he wants to trade a Shredder for it.
Yeah? Oh wow, alright.
Interesting. Still find it a little bit interesting. Oh!
That's a no-K top. I mean...
No.
Firebat could theoretically... I mean, how much damage has he got? He's got 5 damage plus, you know, another 9. He's not quite on lethal, but he can pop the Hyamine and Flame Strike. It's just that then he gives his opponent the ability to win the game.
You know, Milhouse's a big deal here. That's a huge deal. If it was something small, he could have like traded a Boombot for it and maybe like Ping and just Frostbolt the Hyamine to keep it at bay for another turn. That's Milhouse. It kind of changes things up.
I mean, you can't fireball it because it's kind of a waste of damage.
Yeah, definitely. It's too much to waste. He could kind of like hope for the best. Try to kill it with a Boombot. With a lucky Boombot, maybe he can take out the Milhouse. Even getting the Boombot on face, I guess that wouldn't be like that bad.
Yeah, Cipher's play with the Hunter's Mark was actually correct because if you think about it, he doesn't have lethal yet, so maybe it's a bit of too much of an all-in.
Yeah, could be. But Misham also, we gotta remember that it's a taunt, so
yeah,
might have like bought him another turn.
Yeah, I could see
that. He's going for the Flame Strike.
2 to face. Okay, that's not exactly what he's looking for, but he'll take it. Alright, he's giving his opponent the ability to find, I mean, a bow, and anything that deals a bit of damage is going to put you on a clock. Yeah, like this. He's dead next turn, right?
Is he?
He's got the Frostbolt, right?
Face.
He lives.
Yeah.
Does he play heal bots in that deck? I mean, Archmage is the win.
Haha.
Lothab is kind of good.
How much is that gonna... Because he can Frostbolt.
That's actually possibly a win for Firebat.
How much is that? So he's down to 15, so Firebat does still need some help.
But how do you dodge double kill command, double unleash? Like, how the hell do you do that? Oh my god, Cipher with the weapon!
Oh my god.
Firebat with another fireball in his deck. Doesn't find the lethal off of it, unfortunately.
1 turn late. Down to Nidus, 1 turn late.
Is there anything you could ever find in your deck that saves you?
He no longer has the mana for double fireball.
Yeah, he can't do it.
1 damage off, is he? Or 1 mana off?
He's 1 damage off lethal or 1 mana off lethal, put it the way you want, but that Archmage was a bit late to the party, and Cipher's gonna take it by a hair's breadth. Wow. This is crazy.
What a finish to this. That was so close. I can't believe it.
Well, Firebat's out. That's it, guys. Like, he's not moving on to the finals for sure. Cipher's got a chance at beating Stanodashi. I think they're going to be able to participate in the last chance tournament. I think to swing back in, if I'm not mistaken. So we might see a bit more Firebat. But as far as we know right now, there's like no way for them to get in, unless it's the last call. I'm not sure if it's last call or last chance for the next step. So yeah, I mean, Firebat got 0-2 today. A little unfortunate, RNG on his side, but of course, that's Hearthstone. It'll do that to anyone once in a while. We have Cipher up against Stanodashi next up. One guy from Fate to Karma, one guy from Hellraisers. They fought up against each other in the first match of the day, and Stan bought won over Cipher. So there's a chance that this happens again. In which case, Cipher's attempts at winning will have been futile, but he can come back.
What a worthy game 5 there for that last series.
Yeah, I was actually surprised it was this close. I thought, the Hunter was so far ahead for a while, and there was no way for... Like, initially, you saw Firebat's hands like, yeah, the coin, arcane missiles, and everything. But Cipher's plays were correct. I mean, the Hunter's Mark especially, I think that's the point where I was just flabbergasted they didn't try to win right away. But looking at it afterwards, I think playing it slowly might have been a good line to play. Anyway.
It wasn't a mistake from him. He was definitely doing that intentionally. He was aware of the counter spell. I don't think he got surprised by it.
Yeah, his face didn't indicate surprise. So we'll be taking a 10 minutes break before the last match of the day, guys. If you want to conclude it, just stick around. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere.